Welcome everybody to tonight's edition of the Empire Team Zoom. It is August 8th. I know the date right off the top of my head today because we welcomed Miley to the family. She's our newest Platinum Pack distributor. I thought you guys would all want to say hi. Again, I said this before, but dogs bring smiles. So hey, why not bring us some more smiles today? So first off, if you are brand new, I want to be the first to say welcome to the team. We're so excited to have you. You made a fantastic decision, whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching this on the replay. We appreciate you. We're excited for you. We're excited to grow with you. You are the lifeblood of our business, and we appreciate you. So welcome to the team. This call goes on every single Wednesday night, same time, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, where we get to talk about everything under the sun, whether it's announcements or best practices or filling our brains with the goodies or strategies to grow our businesses. Obviously, that's what we're all here for, to improve people's health and be able to improve people's wealth. I love that we're able to do both sides of that. So updates tonight. There was a training last Saturday. If you did miss it, it was recorded. It was a power hour training. So there was 4 of us that put 15 minutes in each. We got a ton of great feedback. And so if you did miss that, I would tell you to go back in the Empire group page and be able to track down that training. You can search the group to be able to find that training. But it was super fun. I think we covered some really important topics and loved that we were able to do it from the comfort of our own homes, but that you were able to be in the comfort of your own home also. Also, another reminder, every single Monday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, we are doing a Pro 3 Powerhouses call featuring different people every single week. So there are recorded ones in the group also, and or there is another one coming up this Monday night. We tend to change a little bit of the information so that you guys are getting new information. We really want to help people reach the foundational ranks of the company and then feature those Pro 3s so that people can hear from those brand new people that are able to reach those ranks. And then really, we're just creating Pro 3 factories. Like we're just duplicating Pro 3 over and over and over and over and over again. So that's super exciting. So tonight, I want to talk a little bit about why every day matters. She's biting me. A little bit of why today matters, a little bit of mindset, and how to keep our brains on point. You know, sometimes obviously life happens and we're feeling like, you know, oh my gosh, what am I doing? How am I going to get there? Why am I not farther? That call was just totally terrible. You know, why didn't that person say yes? And so let's be honest, you know, sometimes we end up in a little bit of feeling a little bit down. And I really want to talk about that. I want to talk about where we go from there and understanding that, you know, a lot of times we think if we get a no or if we get multiple no's, we're thinking that we're the only person, you know, we're the only one that gets a no and nobody else is having this problem. Or I've got a whole bunch of carts out and nobody's checked out and the last person I talked to was no. And so here's the first thing I want to talk about is you're not the only one. And this is not only LifeVantage, this is network marketing, and truly the only reason that people are further ahead in ranks in any company is simply because people heard more no's. They persevered through more no's and just continued going through their list and sharing the information with people, keeping their emotions in check, but also they continue networking. They continue meeting people. And I'm not necessarily saying go to networking events, but I'm saying they continue to network, whether that's asking for referrals from the no's, or whether that's meeting new people, you know, at the activities that you're already currently doing, or seeking people out in the 2 billion people on Facebook. And that part's really easy to do because we can find people. Generally, the people that we attract to us are the people that are most like us. That's generally just the way that it ends up playing out. So I want you to tell you, if you're feeling in that place, I want you to expand out that list by networking. I want you to know that no is getting you that much closer to your next yes. And the yeses generally come from the people we never thought would ever say yes, whether it's product or whether it's team member. Some of my greatest yeses, some of my greatest team members are people that I never, ever, ever, ever thought would ever do this business. When I very first got started 8 years ago, I shared with Debbie Robinson, who's on the line tonight. She's a Pro 6 out here from Aurora, Colorado. And I had shared with her very early on of getting started, and she actually opted to go join another company. And she really wasn't like 100% savvy network marketing, didn't fully know what it was, but she decided, you know what, no, I'm going to go join this other company over here. She came back, and it was kind of like heart-wrenching. You're in the beginning, it's one of your closer friends. Our daughters dance together. And she ended up coming back, I want to say 3 weeks. Debbie, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say she ended up coming back 3 weeks later, kind of throwing her credit card like, hey, I want to do that thing that you're doing. And really all she had seen was me persevere even over those 3 weeks, me still continue to have people over at my house for a home meeting, still continue to see me continue talking to people, still continue to be nice after she said, no, this isn't for me. And sometimes that's all it takes for people is they just want to know that you're still continuing to persevere. They want to know that you're just still doing it. Sometimes for newer people in the business, if you hear no's, sometimes those people are just, they're making a large mistake because what they're really doing is they're going to gauge your success and then put that success on themselves instead of putting themselves in a whole entire different category and saying, my network is different, my work ethic might be different, the people that I want to share with might be different, all of these different things. They're watching you, okay? And so do nothing more than an awesome thing of proving them wrong, proving them like, yes, I'm still doing it. It's kind of funny, after years of doing this and people come back to you and they're like, are you still doing that thing? And you're like, yes, that thing, yes, I'm still doing that thing. And that alone sometimes speaks more volumes than us breaking down the product or breaking down the comp plan or anything else. They're just trying to see, are you going to succeed? Is this possible? And does your check cash? That's a lot of it. And that's why I always say we want to get people who get started money as quickly as possible into their pocket. And yes, that's for a return on investment, but it's also for belief and being able to show somebody that this company works, that this business model works, and that yes, it does pay and it pays well. And so really that getting that person that check really quickly will take their, little tiny B and make it into a capital B of belief. And at that point, it's like, oh my gosh, I shared with somebody, I made money. Now as they continue to order, I get to continue to make money every single month that they reorder this product. It gets more exciting. It gets people talking to more people. And so that's, whether you're brand new or whether you've been in the business for a long time, that's the fun part. Once you get that yes, we need to ride that yes into feeling bulletproof and being able to go continue and share the information with people. A lot of times, we get a yes and we're like, woo, yes, I got it. I got a new customer, or I got a new team member, and you're super excited. And then what do I do from there? It's like, oh, no. Continue doing the exact action that you just did. I saw that cute dog. Somebody's sharing their dog. Anyhow, continue sharing that information. We're having a dog night. Continue sharing that information so that, you're riding that high and continuing to get those yeses, because once we get a yes, we feel better. Our aura is better. We sound better. We share differently. We share with a little bit more confidence. And so being able to do that and then continue to repeat those efforts is absolutely where it's at. So let's talk about leading. Let's talk about creating. Let's talk about communicating. Let's talk about networking. I obviously took some notes here, like I always do for our calls, so I might be looking down to the side. Okay, thank you so much. And I've got my mom sitting the new dog. We got a lot of things going on. So I want to talk about, prioritizing our activities, because activities is not necessarily an accomplishment. Sometimes our activities are taking up a ton of our time, where what we're looking for is the accomplishment. And so productivity versus activity is taking us even further to be able to have those accomplishments that we're looking for every single day. And whether it's in network marketing or whether it's in life or relationship or whatever, accomplishments keep us going. They keep us excited. They keep us feeling fulfilled. And so I want you to know, you can't do every single thing. Okay, so I've had a lot of people, I tend to talk about a topic that I hear a lot from people, and I tend to hear a lot of people like, I want to be able to be, the greatest presenter, and I want to be able to be the greatest, person that knows all of the science, and I want to be the greatest person that shares, and I want to do all these things, and I want to tell you, do what you're super good at. Okay. This isn't like, okay, well, I feel like I'm a 2 out of 10 in presenting, so I got to get really, really, really good at presenting. You'll get better at presenting by presenting. So do the things that you're good at. Hone in on that, because we have a whole entire team of people that can fill in those gaps. So if you feel like, what, I'm not that great at presenting. However, I really want to get in front of my people and I want them to be able to hear the information. Get them on a webinar, get them in front of somebody else, have somebody do a three-way call, have somebody meet them for coffee and explain the information. So really prioritize like what you're super good at. And then kind of like, this is kind of funny to say, but kind of outsource the rest of what you need to do. The one thing you just need to get really good at is the sharing portion. And I promise you, if you can share from your heart and make it come from you and share what you're passionate about. It's always a question, hey, Amber, what do I share first? Do I share the products first? Do I share the company first? Share what you're most passionate about. Just don't keep the conversation there the whole entire time, because whether they're interested in the opportunity, the products go along with that. And if they're interested in the products, the opportunity can go along with that. And so just don't keep the conversation there forever. But if we're going to pique somebody's interest enough that they want to know more information from us, we've got to be passionate about what we're talking about. We've got to be that person that like sparks their brain, like, hey, what is she talking about? Yeah, I want to go ahead and watch this video. Sometimes it's fun to be like, hey, it's a little cartoon video, with the new video. And people get kind of curious, like, what do you mean a cartoon video? Like, well, this could be fun. Yeah, stop working on just your weaknesses. Work on those things that you're really super good at, but make sure that sharing is one of the best things that you have coming out of you. At the end of the day, our health is obviously our greatest strength. And so I tend to think of it like this, our health is our greatest strength. Then what are you good at outside of that? What are you good at in this business? Are you good at sharing? Are you good at presenting? Are you good at, doing a webinar? Are you good at this? Hone in on what you're good at, but continue to be sharing that information and sharing it on a consistent basis. Last week on this call, we talked about reaching out to 2 people a day for at least 5 days during the week. And I think it was this call, there's like 500 calls I think I did this week, but I'm pretty sure it was this call that we talked about 2 people. Okay, thank you, Hagen. Thank you. I'm looking right at you, sister. 2 people a day for 5 days throughout the week. So from last Wednesday to today, we all should have 10 people at least that we've reached out to. Okay. Now I see some of your faces like, yikesies. However, remember, consistency wins the game every single time. So even if that number was one person a day for 5 days, you've still reached out to 5 people. You keep consistent with that. That's 20 people throughout the month. Okay. And again, do we think if we share with 20 people, those of you that I can see your face, play along with me. If we share with 20 people in the month, do you think you're going to find a team member? Yes. Do you think you're going to find a customer, you know, or a couple of customers or a couple of team members? Okay. So when that, you know, oh my gosh, yes, I'm sharing, but I've heard some no's. Tonight we're talking about yes, but there's yeses on the other side of that. Hone in on what you're really good at, but keep the sharing continuing day after day after day. I would say, are we, the sharing portion, I'd like to ask a question. I don't know if this is going to happen. Let me see if I can see let me see if I can put it into this view. In the sharing, some of these have names and some of them don't. Okay, so in the sharing, is there not enough people to talk to, or are we getting scared to share? Do we need to expand out our list? Yes or no? Yes, we need to expand out our list. I'm seeing a yes, I'm seeing a yes, I'm seeing a yes, I'm seeing another yes. I'm seeing Diane Jenkins is like, whoa, what's up tonight? Okay, so that's a yes. So we need to expand out our list. Okay, so are we scared to share the information with people? Are we scared to have that initial conversation? Nope. Anyone else? This is honest. Nobody's looking. Ellen says no. No, Pam. Okay. Yes, Susie. Okay. Okay. Cassie. Sometimes. Okay. Okay. So this is good. So for part of you, expanding out that list is going to be your golden ticket. Okay. And I just gave you a couple of ways at the beginning of this call. Make sure when you're out and about and you're doing your everyday life, I never exchange business cards, but I always get their phone number, or what I really do is I always make Facebook friends with them. So then it's like non-threatening. I didn't ask for the phone number. I can't track them to their house, whatever they think you're going to do. But being a Facebook friend, you know, and we both accept each other, and I do that right there, I can automatically land in their good Facebook inbox message box. So if we've friended each other, I can continue our conversation in Facebook Inbox Messenger. And that's really my favorite way to do it. If you want to do it a different way and it's like, hey, let me grab your phone number so that we can talk about this, just watch your posture in the way that you're asking for it. Hey, let me grab your phone number, instead of, hey, you know, if I could get your number, I could call you if you're okay with that, you know. So you see a difference there. Just postured and confident. Hey, let me grab your phone number. Let's finish our conversation. So, you know, we can finish shopping here. We can finish our conversation over the phone. That's awesome. You know, it's quick. You can watch a video. Yep, for that. You know, and then it's like, oh, yes. I'm not using my Facebook QR code. Generally, I go to their Facebook. So if I'm holding my phone, I'll just, and literally in the middle of the conversation, I'll kind of just pull out my phone. I'll go to Facebook and I'm like, hey, what's your name on Facebook? So I don't even say like, hey, can we be Facebook friends? Because at that point, if they're not on there, they're like, oh, I'm not on Facebook. But if they are on there, they're like, oh, it's blah, blah, blah. You know, and I'm like, oh, how do you spell it? You know, and I'm just typing it in. And I'm like, oh, I just friend requested you. Accept the friend request, you know. And then they're pulling out their phone and they're like, oh, okay. I've found that's the easiest way to continue the conversation. Low threatening. That's not the way. Less threatening. I don't know. I don't get nervous if somebody asks me for my phone number. Like, I'm just like, yeah, whatever. That was funny. Sidetrack. I wish more people asked me for my phone number, maybe. Yeah, we're getting some laughs tonight. That did just come out of my mouth. Woo-hoo! Okay. So I don't know. I don't get scared when people ask me for my phone number. Obviously, some people do. No worries, okay? But there's just a little simple trick to when you're out meeting people, go back through your Facebook feed. Check out who is liking and commenting on your posts. You might not even know that Sally has liked your last 5 posts or commented on your last 5 posts, and she's digging what you're giving, okay? And that's like an invitation to be able to reach out, like, hey, Sally, what's going on? You know, thank you so much for commenting on my post. How have you been? You know, how's the kids been? Whatever that is, just strum up the conversation. Sometimes I think we don't start the conversation because we don't know what to say. You know, and so in that type of building, it's like, oh, no, just begin the relationship, catch up a little bit. Generally, it always comes into play like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? You know, and we're asking those types of questions all day, every day. We're not going exactly for the jugular. You know, we're not like, hey, you need to join my business today. It's the best thing in the whole entire world. You know, but we're just getting that conversation going. And I got to tell you it again, and I think I've preached this every single week, the more people we're talking to at one time, the easier this whole entire business is. Okay. So if we've got 10 people that we're talking to at one time that are at a different point, you know, maybe this person's watched the video, maybe this person's had their first follow-up, maybe this person is in their research phase, maybe this person, you know, is talking it over with their spouse, wherever they are. It's like you've got, you know, you're keeping track of what step these people are at. But those 10 conversations, if one person says no, your day was not just completely obliterated. Okay. It's like, oh, no problem. Okay. Let me go ahead and follow up with Jenny, you know, and then the emotion's just not so there. That is like, I promise you, that's like network marketing hack 101. The more people you can keep in your funnel at one time, the less emotional it is, the faster your business will grow. So there's a couple of ways of adding more people. You can also go Facebook surfing. And I'm really talking about Facebook just because that's where the 2 billion people are at. You know, if we go out to the market, who calls it the market? If we go out to the store and if we go out to the store, we might only see like one person that we're going to interact with. Okay. If we go to a networking event, everybody's on everybody. You know, are they going to answer your call and the other 15 calls that they got? So the reason I keep saying Facebook is number one, obviously it's like my love playing ground because there's 2 billion people. So I just kind of go surfing sometimes. I'll type in a name and just go surfing, and I look for people with the same interests that I have because I want to expand out my list. I want to increase the friends that I have so that when I'm posting, more people are seeing that content. But you'll notice, and that's not an overnight thing. We're building relationships there. But if you're not making if your list you feel like is going slim and you're not making relationships outside of the house, I say use Facebook as your playing ground. Friend brand new people every single day. Don't go on a friending spree to where you're like, friend. Facebook won't like you at all. And then send them an inbox message, you know, like, hey, you know, I ran across your profile today. You can just, again, be honest. I ran across your profile. Looks like we're super like-minded. Give them a compliment every single time, whether it's like, oh my gosh, looks like you had so much fun at the park this weekend, or, you know, oh my gosh, your kids are so cute, or how was your summer vacation, or whatever that is. You know, do you still live in Chicago? You know, if their profile says Chicago, you know, it's like, oh, well, I'm expanding my business in Chicago, you know, when they come back to you. So literally we can make friends, expand our list, again, from the comfort of our own home in the largest playing ground where there is the most people. So it's so funny when I think about doing these calls, you know, I'm like, what does the team need the most? And I always, like, lately, I just keep coming back to the invite. You know, normally I feel like sometimes I'm doing closing or sometimes I'm doing the follow-up, but what I'm feeling, and I just keep getting this gut feeling, is like, okay, the invite, but let's go deeper. You know, do we have enough people to invite? How can we find more people to invite? Where are we going to find these people? You know, and I feel like we just, thank you, Stacy. I feel like we just like got to swim deeper. Like, where are, like, like, how are we going to get to the invite? Because if we don't have the people to invite, then I could tell you how to invite until I'm purple in the face. I could tell you how to follow up until I'm purple in the face or close or anything, but it's not going to matter. And so I'm glad that you guys played along tonight with the like yeses and nos. For those of you, the one last thing I wanted to touch on, for those of you that said, yes, I'm still a little bit nervous to reach out to people. Again, I want you to remember that it's not about you, but it's about them. And I want you to think to yourself, what if, insert your enroller's name, never shared with me? Okay, and I just want you to let that like sit with you for a minute. You know, what if they never shared with me? And expand out on that. You know, whether it's, oh my gosh, I never would have made $500 extra every single month since 2005, or excuse me, 2015. Or if it's like, oh my gosh, not even about you, you know, like, well, yes, thank God my enroller shared, because I was able to share Vitality Stack with, you know, Jim, who now is able to get out of bed and walk. Okay. So I want you to get really clear when you're struggling and thinking, oh, I don't know if I want to call that person, or I don't know if I want to share with them, or I'm a little bit nervous. I want you to take a deep breath. Be honest always. If you're nervous, tell them you're nervous. They love that. It edifies them. They feel like, nervous to talk to me? No, like, come on, like, share. Yeah, absolutely. I'm here for you. But then think about the person that shared with you, and what would it be like if the person never shared with you? That generally, again, you know, we're digging and swimming a little bit deeper. That generally can get us to a place of movement, and remembering, you know, oh, it's not about me, you know. And I always said, you know, whether you're texting or whether you're calling, the send button on your text message, once you hit it, you're done. Okay. And so I would always get myself to the place where it was like, okay, the text is great, you know, and of course we're only saying this much in the text, whatever, you know, we're in a texting society, so totally fine. But I literally just had to send really fast. If I'm calling somebody, I'll pull up their number and I will literally push call, and I'm stuck. You know, because what are you gonna do? Hang up, and they're gonna call you back and like, hey, did you call me? Oh, no, I didn't mean to, you know? So you're like stuck. I always liked putting myself in that position, because I felt like, well, here goes nothing. Like, it's either gonna be 5 minutes from now, or 15 minutes from now, or 15 months from now. And what if somebody else shares with them and they wind up on somebody else's team on the stage as a Pro 7 going to Ireland, and you're like, you were in my phone, I just didn't hit the call button. You know what I mean? I'm probably calling people right now. And so literally, take yourself out of the equation, step back for a second, do whatever it's going to take. If it's going to take hitting that send button really fast, hit the send button really fast. If it's going to take hitting the call button really fast, hit the call button really fast. And then see what happens, because again, whether you do it today, you're not going to be any less fearful if you don't start. So it's not going to be like, oh, well, I don't really want to call them today. I'm going to call them tomorrow, because I'm going to feel better tomorrow. And tomorrow's just a better day. The sun's going to be out and I'm going to get better sleep tonight. And then tomorrow comes and it's like, ooh, but, ew, I'm so nervous. I don't want to call them. And it's like, we're waiting for the nerves to go away. And the only way that the nerves go away, and I won't even tell you that they fully go away, but the only way that we can partially get the nerves to go away is if we take the action and we continually do it, because that's the only way we get better. You know, so many times Stacy, I'm rocking with you, sister. So many times, you know, I've heard so many times this week, you know, like, how did this person get this far? How did this person acquire this many customers? Or how did this and how did that? And I'm like, perseverance. It's like one word. It's perseverance. And they didn't let the no's get them down, and they didn't let the no's get them down, but they also didn't let the yeses get them too high. Okay. So we're playing this even playing field of, I'm not going to let my yeses get me too high, and I'm not going to let my no's get me too low. I'm going to stay pretty even throughout the process. And that's like, if you make yourself stay even throughout the process, you won't even worry about who you're calling, because that's like a job all within itself. Okay. Okay, I'm going to read some of these things. Friend peeps outside of LifeVantage just need to listen to you and do this. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Friend people outside of LifeVantage. Like, do not go friend a whole bunch of people on LifeVantage because your message is not being shared with anybody that can join your team. They can't join your team. They might provide you likes and comments, which at the end of the day, we're looking for those inbox conversations or those relationships forming. And I want you to remember that when you're thinking, you know, only 2 people liked my post or only 1 person commented, that's not even what we're going for, truly. The comments are great because it forces it back through the feed. That's awesome. However, it's like, I'm looking for that inbox message, that person that's like, what the heck are you doing? And I want to do what you're doing, and you're inspiring and you're positive, and I just love your Facebook. Sometimes it's strangers that are liking and commenting. I would still reach out 110%. I would still say, I mean, now there's a difference, you know, like stranger, like real stranger, like another country widowed, because there's that whole group of people that do that. So we're not doing writing back to them. However, stranger, absolutely, that's like free loot right there. That's like, absolutely. I get in their inbox 100%. Okay. And the easiest part is like, hey, thanks for commenting on but such and such picture. Hey, thanks for liking such and such thing. You know, whatever. It's a conversation opener. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Thank you for saying thank you. Hagen, you're asking me if you should leave a message if they don't answer on the telephone. Okay, I don't ever, and I'm not going to tell you I'm doing it the right way or the wrong way. I don't know if I think that, oh, I missed a whole bunch of questions. I don't know that, I don't know that that's the absolute right way, but I feel like if I don't leave a message that I can call back whenever I want. I don't feel like I'm waiting for them to call me back. I feel like in 2 days that I can just pick the phone back up. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Stop being best at, oh yes, Hagen, stop being best at missing out, get ready and getting ready to still get ready. Yes. Stop being best at missing out. Stop being best at, you know, sabotaging our own selves and so worried about what other people are going to say. I did that this week. Thanks for the great example. Dog parks with the new baby. Yes, she is 8 weeks today and only little 2 pounds and 14 ounces. So she can't go to the dog park just yet, but we couldn't meet people at the dog park. Okay, I think I answered all those questions. I hope you guys got some really good, juicy feelings because again, we remember the way people make us feel 100 times more. And so if we can move each other to greatness, to, you know, taking those first steps to get us to the steps that we want to be at, then we're golden. So with that, thanks for allowing me to share my new family member with my other LifeVantage family. My mom actually has her, if you can see my mom in the picture. She's in the other room. So thank you for letting me do that. Thank you for everything that you guys do. I super appreciate it. Make sure that you're following up with the people that, oh my gosh, Hagen, wah! We're going to have a total dog Zoom, like dog fun or animal, whatever. But make sure you're following up with the people that you've put in the Facebook group and you're not just leaving them hanging out there. Make sure that you are following up with them. Get in there, get back in their inbox. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing so many dogs. This is so fun. Keep your dogs there. I got to take a picture. I know I've gone a little bit longer, but oh my gosh, this is so fun. Oh my word. We totally just did a dog Zoom. Anyway, follow up with those people that you've put in the group. Don't just leave them hanging in there. Get back in their inbox. Figure out what's going to take them from sitting there to product user or business builder with us. With that, you guys have a fantastic week. Can't wait to see y'all next week, and we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.